Good evening and welcome to BSC Spotlight. Our special guest this evening is Jerry Connor. Jerry is the campus sponsor for the USS Yeager chapter of Starfleet. And Jerry, some big goings on this weekend, October 26 and 27 at Bluefield State College. Some details.
Well, indeed, it is going to be a big weekend. It's the 21st Rising Star Science Fiction Convention. We are an event aimed at community involvement in the local fandoms. We are a very all-inclusive convention, unlike many that are just anime or just gaming or just Star Trek and so forth. We have elements of all of those in ours. We'll have a gaming room going on all day, an anime room, dealer's area, and then we'll be doing panels and workshops on a number of subjects.
One of the things that you talked to me about previously was the fact that science fiction, or whatever the currently appropriate term is for it, conjures up all kinds of images in individuals' minds. Certainly there's an element that is specific to the genre, but for individuals who may not have a cultivated interest, this convention provides a real opportunity in a fun environment to find out more about all the different elements that comprise this.
Oh, very definitely. We are a ground floor convention. And as you say, to some people it's Battlestar Galactica, to some others it's Star Trek. Right now it's very much Doctor Who. And then of course there are the literature, the comics, and so forth. So people will be able to come in, learn how to do stage makeup, learn stage fighting techniques. We'll have a costume display and so forth. Pretty much anything at the basic level you want to get into.
You've got some special guests coming in, featured presenters and performers at this weekend's activities in the Harris Jefferson Student Center. Who are a few of those, and what are their points of focus?
Okay, one of our most popular people is Ashley Holohan. She's a graduate of Virginia Tech, and she does what's called furry artwork. That is where they take a human character and give it the characteristics of a particular favorite animal or the like. For instance, I have a piece that she did of my Starfleet character. So you've got a Starfleet character who's a panda bear. Another writer and artist who is going to be here is Stan Delby of Withful. He has started his own small comic and writing company, and he's released several comics over the last several years. We have Paul Dellinger, who is a retired journalist with the Roanoke Times, but in his spare time, if he ever had any, he wrote plays for the Barter Theater, he wrote short stories for magazines, and he worked on a book on the UFO sightings in Withful back in the 1970s.
Jerry, this has been presented as a family-friendly activity, and it's not all about fiction, is it?
No, it's not. One of our most popular events is actually a demonstration by the Bluefield State College robotics team. They're one of our best kept secrets here at Bluefield State, and they have won a number of national championships in competition against many large universities.
In the area of autonomous ground vehicles and those types of things. Now, one of my favorite activities in reviewing or previewing some of the scheduled events has to be the costume presentation that takes place, I believe, Saturday evening. This Saturday evening?
That's correct.
Some of what can folks who attend that expect to see?
Well, I can't tell you until Saturday evening, because what this is people taking their own creativity and everything from junkyard items to duct tape and hot glue, which are the two ultimate tools of costumers, and whatever fabric or scraps they might find in the local store. One of the cutest I've ever seen was a little boy who came in, and he was wearing his little blue suit and white shirt and red tie, and we were all kind of like, well, what's the deal with this? And he walked out to center stage, ripped the shirt open, and he had a Superman t-shirt on underneath it.
A miniature Clark Kent.
Yes, and it was great because it was so simple but so effective.
Yeah.
And then, not at our convention, but I have seen one fellow that did a full 7-foot tall alien from the Jim Cameron movie.
Now this all sounds like it's done in fun, but there's really a strong community service element to the things that the chapter on campus does and to the Rising Star Convention. Speak for a moment, if you will, about that.
Well, the Yeager itself takes care of a number of local activities. We support the Bluefield Union Mission each year at Christmas time with donations of food, money, or toys for their Christmas charities. We maintain the Walker Bulldog tank that's the gate guard at the Bluefield City Park. We keep it painted up and properly marked. We have built 2 cars for the downhill derby that's held every year at the Bluefield Lemonade Days Festival.
And Jerry, it seems like there's a scholarship initiative as well, isn't there?
That is our primary goal with Rising Star, is that money beyond what we make for the convention to run it will go back into a fund for what we hope will be named the Johnny Miller Memorial Scholarship. Johnny was one of the early starting members of our group back when it was still the Bluefield State Science Fiction Club. He was a student at Bluefield State in the early 1970s and very strong alumnus, both with us and with the Tau Kappa Epsilon fraternity. And he was one of those people who is your classic working his way through college. He would finish his daytime classes and then go to work at Bluefield Armature and work till nearly dawn, grab a couple of hours sleep, and go back to class. Mm-hmm. And so we're going to be putting in a scholarship for an incoming freshman who has a financial need, just to help them get over the humps of that first year.
I'm sure that in the discussion that individuals are watching here on BSC TV, there are many whose interest is piqued. There are some, and this is right in their wheelhouse of interest, and there's some that would just be curious. What does it cost for admission? What are the hours and the location of the Rising Star Convention?
The convention will open on Friday afternoon at 6 p.m. On Friday night, we'll have activities going to about 11:30 p.m. Saturday, we'll start at about 9 o'clock with panels starting at about 10. And we'll run until probably 11 to midnight Saturday night. Now, the cost for all that is $5 for one person's badge, which means you come in, you buy the badge, and that's your ticket for the whole weekend. If you're a member of the Bluefield State family, that is a faculty member, a staff member, or a student here at Bluefield State, then membership is free.
If an individual wants to find out more, and remember this is happening at the Harris Jefferson Student Center at Bluefield State this Friday and Saturday. It'll be tomorrow and the day after as we watch this, as it replays on Thursday the 25th. The dates of the conference are Friday and Saturday the 26th, 27th. But if you want to find out more, Jerry, what's the best way to find out more?
Well, you can visit our website at www.rising-star.org, or you can email me directly at yeagerco@gmail.com.
And that's Y-E-A-G-E-R.
Correct.
co@gmail.com. Well, Jerry Connor, it's been very interesting and certainly interest-provoking. Thanks for taking your time and sharing it with us to talk about an exciting activity, not only for the college campus, but for the larger community as well, coming up this Friday and Saturday.
Thank you, Jim.
And thanks to each of you for taking your time and sharing it with us. I'm Jim Nelson. This has been the Bluefield State College Spotlight. Stay tuned. Coming up next is this week's Bluefield City Board of Directors replay.
I should just call. So what are you waiting for? I just never thought I could afford college. At Bluefield State, you'll get help with financial aid. They really care about your future. Well, nothing's changed. Right, nothing's changed. You want a career that's fulfilling and rewarding, and the only way that's going to happen is if I call. One call can make the difference. Bluefield State College.